Tulio, here we are again.
Andrew, how you doing, my friend?
It seems like every time I'm with you, I see blue humps and yeah. This is the consumer product, I guess, version of the something what you do professionally with your spectrometer.
Oh yeah. So basically, this allows you to visualize the spectrum of your aquarium device. It's the ITC from Reef Culture, available through CoralView. And it's a very exciting product, okay? Because as you can see, if I could move the sensor, you see how the spectrum's changing?
Yep.
Okay? And you see even your lux. So it's a great reference tool, and what's really exciting is it's very affordable. I think it's only like $2.99 or something like that. So you can get your PAR, you can get your Kelvin. It gives you a lot of information about your lights.
And so, what does this do different or less advanced or more advanced than the advanced spectrometers?
Okay, so the difference is in the sensor. So for example, my spectrometer, my spectrometer costs as much as many people's entire reef system. So the sensor and some of the components are going to be more advanced. But for reference, for a lot of the stuff that people are doing at home, they don't need that expensive equipment. This gives them access to the technology where they can get an idea of changes that they're making in their light in real time.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Pretty cool.
So technology coming to the consumer market. You actually will be able to see your spectrum.
Yeah, and it'll give you the PAR. It'll tell you your PAR and everything as well.
Right.
So double duty, you get a PAR meter and essentially a spectrometer.
Very cool. Thanks, Tulio.
I think we have a sticker. All right, feel free to get whichever one you like. I want a sticker this time. We want a sticker. Daddy gets to pick it out.
What's up, guys? Rashid here, and I'm here with Jeremy from CoralView. Like I said, we're going to bring you some of the cool things we're seeing in the show, and one of the cool things we're seeing is this new Reef Octopus. What are we calling it? Reef Octopus what?
Various 10.
The Varios 10. So I've always used the 6, the 8. I've also used, we have a bunch of Vectras in Polo Reef. But, just tell us a little bit about this Varios 10, how much gallons per hour, what are the cool, unique things, wattage, just some of the specs for the folks.
Well, this is the 5th one. This is the largest one right now with the Reef Octopus family of various pumps.
Okay.
It's just like all the others. You can run them internally or externally.
Okay.
The biggest difference with this one, it's high pressure rated, so
Nice.
you can shoot up the couple floors,
Right.
Beckett skimmers, anything that needs that high pressure rating.
Right.
This is the pump that can now do it.
Really? Sorry, guys, in Florida, us in New York, we have basements, so this kind of matters. But I say that jokingly, but you could run this as a recirculation deal. There's a lot of things you could do with it. It's not just with people with fish rooms downstairs, right? Well, what are some of the other places?
Large aquariums in general that need that gallon per hour. It does up to 4,200 gallons per hour. So
Absolutely.
if you want to run a big system using one pump or multiple pumps and stage them down lower,
All right.
because these are controllable,
Yeah.
so you don't have to run them at 100%.
I'm noticing the controller is a nice, cool black controller. Very different look. Can you tell me some of the spec differences of this versus the other
Well, this
controllers?
is more of a commercial rated power, controller.
Right.
It has a bigger heat sink on the back because it is going to produce more heat.
Right.
Pump is up to 200 watts.
Yep.
So it provides that power, but it's also an IP2 rating, so it's like splash proof.
Yes.
So it gives you that little bit more reliability.
Guys, but don't put your controllers over your sumps. Find a place. And all right, so
Not when you're spending that kind of money.
so to that, one of the issues I have is when you are trying to find a place, do you have extenders between the pump and the controllers? Because if I have these boards that I'm creating, they're like around the corner. Is there? Well, this looks like it's long to begin with. So that, but do you have something that can extend this or no?
Not currently, but
What about for the Varios 6 and 8s?
Yes.
You do have extenders, but you guys probably thought that through and made it long for that reason.
Yes.
All right, guys. I walked by this and didn't realize what I was looking at. So now we're going to put it all together for you. Carlos is going to put it all together for you.
System controller, an aquarium controller. Right. So this is what we show in terms of aquarium controller. But don't let this be scary. It's not that way. Let me ask you a question. Do you monitor?
Wait, I'm not scared. I'm seeing less power unit controllers. I'm seeing less wires. I'm seeing some cool stuff here. Exactly. It's very different. I like the black and LED theme. There's a cool it has like that adaptive reef kind of thing to it. So I'm not controlling. I mean, I'm already following a lot of this. I'm following probes, controllers, multiple brains, which is important. This looks like an outlet probe like we see anywhere else. On and off. I love these on and off buttons. This is a big deal. A lot of times I want to feed on and off. I want to do a water change. I have piping in my sub-basement where water could be taken out. Put this on a button. You turn stuff off. I might still have to do some stuff with valves, but anyway, I'm going to let you talk a little more about this before we go to the app.
No problem. So modular. Think of it as multiple brains.
Right.
Most of the controllers up to this time have been a single brain. So you have a single brain in the middle with accessories.
Right.
But what happens when that brain goes down? All the accessories fail.
It's happened to me before.
Yes.
It always happens late at night, and you don't know what the mapping was.
On a Friday night. On a Friday night, too.
Friday night.
Okay. So what we've done is, let's think of a smart grid, electrical grid. Pole goes down, and before the days, everybody had lost power. Nowadays, pole goes down, the electrical company goes around, and only that section weighs. So what we've done is the same thing, a smart grid. If one of the devices here goes down, any of the other devices will pick up and continue to control the tank. Not only that, they'll pick up and allow you to see through the app what's going on with your system. So you
created redundancies where we don't. It's not like you're as weak as your weakest link.
Correct.
Right.
Not only that is you don't have to start with all the systems. You can pick any of the brains and start with based on what you want. So you can go as inexpensive as the Control 2, or you can go as expensive as the X10. It allows you to grow with the controller. Your controller grows with your demand. So let's say you have a system that is a small 20-gallon system where all I need to do is water sensor and temperature. Then I'll start with the X2. Right. And then I move up and I said, I love the hobby. I'm going to get a 50 or a 75 or 100-gallon system. Now I'm going to monitor pH and ORP. So then you purchase the X4. The beauty about this is that in our system, just because you purchase the X4 doesn't mean that it's going to replace the X2. You link them together, and now you have you're building blocks. Now you have an X6. Like this system right here, the X4 has 4 universal sensors. We have a long list of sensors. This has 4 sensors. Of this list, pick 4. Any 4 you want.
Listen, so far I like everything you said. I like the visual appeal. I think this is gonna once again give people more options.
Yes.
You got your GHL people that'll never go away from GHL. You got me who's been doing Apex from like 08, 05. Like I love the Apex. Mm-hmm. But this also gives opportunity. This has me thinking. It has me thinking, and maybe who knows.
Yeah, so you have the opportunity to we have a power strip right here, just like any other controller, and it's wired directly to it. So no matter what happens with Wi-Fi or anything like that, the configuration is stored in the devices. So the Wi-Fi is there so you can upload changes or you can view what's going on. But it's not. The controllers don't need it. If your Wi-Fi fails, your controllers will continue.
You could direct.
They get to run the tank and everything.
All right. Let's get to the meat. The meat and what happens usually with controllers and control freaks is the reason they don't want to switch to something is they don't want to learn something.
Correct.
Let's look at the app now. Let's and then tell me, what do I need to learn? So I played football, believe it or not. I got hit in the head a lot. Pretty dense. Like I'm not gonna pick up quick.
You know what? We made the app so simple. So let's go over to this.
Let's take a look at it. Let's go. All right. So talk to me, Carlos. What do you have here?
This is the Hydros app, and as you can see, what we've done is we've taken what Android and Apple, which is tiles. They're not intimidating. They're easy to understand. Tap on it. It gives you the status, and everything. So we've made it so simple. Let's say you want to add a heater, temperature sensor. Here's a temperature sensor. Look, no coding allowed. Temperature sensor, probe, sense board. It's asking me where on those devices that I connected the temperature sensor. Then safe range and graph value and offset. Let's say the temperature sensor is a little off. We give you that offset. But then, what if I want to grab that temperature sensor and use a heater? Let's go ahead and take a look at this heater right here. this is my heater configuration. Now it looks a little like a lot, but you can do a lot with this.
No, let me see if I can figure it out. You want to hold the mic for a second?
I will.
All right. Type heater. We want it up to 77.5. Let's say I want it to 78. There you go. I'm changing it up to 78 right now. Or let's just say I want it really low. Let's say I want it to 73 right now. It turns on if it goes below 73.
Take a look at this. Now you
that's
can
cool.
actually type the number, but you know it looks cooler when you slide.
So very easy. Turn on when it goes this low. Turn off if it goes this high. Done. Now, okay. Now you have your input. So now I could utilize this variable to turn off my chiller on and off, turn off my lights on and off. Do you have that ability?
Close enough. So let me show you right here. Temperature input. What it is that temperature sensor that you created. Now, and this heater, where is the temperature sensor? How do I know when to turn on and off?
Right.
But in addition to that, temperature input number 2. How many times have we stuck our hand in the sump cleaning up, and then we pull our hand and inadvertently pull the heater out of the water,
Right.
and then we cook our tanks?
Yeah.
So now we've given you the opportunity to a newbie or an expert. Here, you can add a second temperature sensor. The controller will follow the highest temperature. Output device. This tells you where in that outlet box I connected. Outlet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's
So
it.
it's automatic. I don't have to look for it.
Exactly. Not only that, here, save power range. Say my heater is 300 watts. I'll make the range 200 to 400. So if the heater is drawing power 300 at 300, no warning. If it's less than 300 or more than 400, send me a warning. Right here, we choose which notification level you want. And on top of that, active modes. Do you want the heater to work during a water change? Let's say during the water change, your water heater becomes exposed. I want the system to automatically turn it off. Here, depends on. Do you want the heater to be on when your return pump is off? Do you want
That's the one I was talking about.
Exactly.
Dependencies.
And then enable advanced settings. Do you want the heater to turn on, off all the time? No. So you put a minimum off time of 1 minute. Let's say the heater in Florida, you run the heater and it's running for 24 hours. It should never run for 24 hours.
Right.
Exactly. So let's do, you know what? Let's do a maximum on time of 1 hour. As soon as maximum on time of 1 hour. I hit 2, okay? Click OK. And now I have a warning. If the heater is on for more than an hour, send me a warning. Now this is all done without writing a single line of code. Not a single line of code.
How are you guys getting this education out? Because, you know, I know we're doing that now, and that's the great thing about collaborating with folks who get, like, how are you guys going to educate people about such a new product? What's the plan at Coralview?
The product has been around for 3 years already.
Right.
Okay, so we have websites, we have marketing, we do social media, you know, and we emails, videos, and our website is an instructional website with everything written there, so that you can.
I'm going to put you on the spot. You ready for this? How's your Coralview customer service?
Fantastic.
Should I go on Google and check on that?
We know from. Oh yeah, actually, go on Google. Go on Google. You know, it's like go on Google right here and check it out.
I'm just asking what people are wondering, and people always go with companies with great customer service,
Exactly.
you know, and they're willing to work with you because you're going to work with them in tough times, you know.
Absolutely. If you have an issue with the if you have an issue with the device, you send an email to support. We have a Hydros forum on Facebook. We also have a forum like Reef to Reef, but it's our own forum. And then we also have a support portal, support.coralview.com, where you can submit a ticket. If you submit a ticket, you'll probably get me or you'll get Connor. We are the ones. We are develop the product, but we also sit down and do the support. Not only that, we all have systems, so we know so we know what the customer is asking. In addition to that, there is an admin part of this system right here that I can actually access the system remotely with your permission, and I'll see exactly what you're seeing. So I don't have to email you and say, hey, send me a screenshot of this, send me a screenshot of that, or why did you do that? You say, hey, can you just let me do it to remote? I'll go into the system, I'll look at it, and I'll write down an email that says, hey, this is why you're having a problem. Here's how you fix it.
So Carlos, I want you to help me wrap up this whole review that we've done. Guys, you've heard it here first. We're going to end with the Hydros. This is cool stuff. This is why we come out here, and you get a chance to feel and see the products that really should come together. Thanks, guys. Thanks.